Teaching kids in elementary school how our government works and what's happening during our election is important, unless you're specifically focusing on today's election. And teachers at Jericho Elementary School learned that the hard way when their students in Long Island, New York, had to basically cancel their mock election because things got a little too negative. Let's take a quick look at a video of one elementary school kid talking about why they canceled it.
When people are getting angry because some people like Trump and some people like Clinton and some people think Clinton's good and some people think Trump's not good. So there's a lot of arguments going on and I don't like that.
She's so cute.
Was that freckles for a Halloween costume or are those
Probably.
real freckles?
I don't think those are real freckles.
Okay,
but
that was amazing.
The principal, Glen Rogers, said the school's teachers decided to do away with the mock election when students started bringing up things about minorities in the cafeteria or argue in ways inappropriate for school, okay? Now, here's the good news, though. Since it is important for students to know how elections work, they're still going to hold an election, but they are going to vote on their favorite lunch foods. And that means that they'll be given a choice between bagel with yogurt, which sounds terrible.
Right?
That is a weird combination. Chicken nuggets, which sound pretty good. Mozzarella sticks, or home-brought lunch.
You got to go mozzarella sticks. I mean, how do you even? This is not a fair contest. This election is rigged. It's got to be mozzarella sticks, right? I know. I even think that the bagel with yogurt has rabies.
Bagel with yogurt is the worst one on that list. I'd go with chicken nuggets. I like to have a little protein. I know that cheese has protein, but mozzarella sticks don't really appeal to me.
I like how we're having a legitimate conversation.
Yeah.
About this. Okay,
I feel like it's a little more substantive than a current election.
I know, right? Okay, but let's get serious here. So some of the kids who were supporting Trump were yelling, Trump, 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 Trump. Okay, all right. Like, I would minus points. That's how I do. I do minus some plus points with my kids for even saying something as obnoxious as Trump, 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 Trump. I would consider that almost a curse word. But that's why we have an issue, right? Because some of the parents are supporting Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And so to them, like, what do you mean? Hey, don't stop our kids from saying Trump, Trump, Trump. That's great. But then the kids would also say about how we've got to ban Muslims. But then there are Muslim kids and there's minority kids. So now the parents can say, I just taught my kids what my favorite candidate who has a 50-50 chance almost at this point of becoming president is saying, ban the Muslims and ban the Mexicans. Now, but you can't have that in an elementary school because it's clearly discriminatory. You can't teach kids the thing that the president of the United States thinks if he wins. And he's this close to winning. Tied in the national polling. At most, she has a 1 to 2 point lead. That's within the margin of error. Okay, we're 5 days from an election. So if he wins, then does that become legitimized? And in elementary schools, what do? We stop teaching that you should be tolerant of other races, religions, etc. Because, I mean, we're being caught in a weird situation where the teachers say, hey, be nice to everybody. But the president says, no, don't be nice to everybody. Hate these groups. Or discriminate against them, or profile them, or kick them out of the country. And now you've got a big chunk of the country who agrees and who teaches their kids, yeah, you should kick the Mexicans out. You should make sure the Muslims don't come in. Picking out a Muslim student, well, you should do that.
Well, I think you touched on something really important because whether or not Trump exists, those same parents are having these conversations at the dinner table about how the others are so terrible. The blacks are so dangerous. The Mexicans are all entering the country illegally and they're all criminals and rapists. Like, these types of conversations happen in some households regardless. And now there is a presidential candidate who makes them feel bold enough to say these things even more aggressively, out in the open, overtly. And so I worry about that too. I mean, racist people are always going to exist in this country, regardless of what we do. I mean, we need a system that tries to minimize or completely get rid of that impact, on minority communities. But at the same time, hateful people are going to remain hateful. They're still going to exist.
But when they get legitimized, then we've got a real issue.
Yes.
Because part of the reason that they are always obsessed with, like, the schools are teaching our kids propaganda. Well, no, the schools teach your kids to be decent human beings who respect everybody. But some portion of the country doesn't want that. they don't think that other people should be respected. They think that they are above those people and that they should act like that. So when you then say, no, the schools, you're not going to teach kids to be decent people anymore, well, then we've got a problem that is much, much larger than just one political candidate. The Young Turks isn't just us. It's also you guys. You make this show possible, and we want to thank you for it, and we want to grow together. We want to be too strong. tytnetwork.com/join. Let's do it.